Hello YouTube, it's Mike here back in with a new video, and in this video we're going to be discussing what happened at Nintendo Direct. So, I also have some other videos coming out right after this one about previous news, but let's focus on this one first. We got a lot of news in Nintendo Direct today. Some good news, a lot of good news. So let's get into it, yeah, right now. I don't know. I'm lost for words. Stupid. Probably isn't more Easter outside right now. But we got ourselves a Little Mac in Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U and the 3DS. I never really played Punch Out all that much, but I mean, he looks pretty badass from what I've seen, and he definitely looks like a lethal character to play as. So that made a lot of people happy. I credit all this information here from Alpha Omega Sin. He is ecstatic. I think he's going to be pretty cool. I'm definitely trying him out when Smash Brothers comes out. And, that's that. It had a pretty cool trailer. Okay, my favorite news of the entire bunch, Mario Golf World Tour. Now, I love the Mario Golf games. Toadstool Tour here is my favorite GameCube game. I love the Mario Golf games. I've invested so many hours, so much fun into it. It's probably one of my favorite sports games of all time. It's definitely one of my favorite GameCube games of all time. They're just fun games. And, if you're looking for, like, a good Mario game, or a good Mario sports game, or just a good Nintendo game in general, that's not on the expensive side, definitely go after these. I mean, I think the N64 one's like $15, but you get this for like $5 maybe. I got this for a couple bucks at a yard sale. They also have Mario Golf Advance Tour, which is okay. And I'm ecstatic that they're coming out with World Tour. I heard they're adding some new elements to it. From what I've seen from gameplay, it kind of looks like the Pokemon games now, which is interesting. It will probably add on to like an RPG type effect, which is really cool, and it'll get more people into the Mario Golf games. Which, it's about damn time they're releasing another one of these, because this was the last Mario Golf game, and this came out all the way back in 2003. So it's been going on 11 years without a Mario Golf game, and we're finally getting one. So, I mean, I've already known about it, but now that they're releasing gameplay and stuff like that, this is a sure pickup for me. Day it comes out. Camp outside Kmart, or wherever. The NES Remix 2 on the Wii U. I haven't tried out NES Remix 1. From what I've heard, it's good. So, it's nice that we're getting an NES Remix 2. This will obviously get more of newer gamers into old school games, which is always nice. And it'll give more people to buy, like, Wii U. And, the nostalgia for the parents that played Nintendo at one point. I mean, there are just a lot of good things that can come out of the NES Remix games. Hopefully they do some, like, volumes, like, with DVDs, like, NES Remix, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, but they can go on forever with these, because there's so many damn NES games. Like, how they do the HD re-releases is pretty much what they're doing with the NES games. Which is cool. The only thing that would concern me is if it'll bring down value of some games. Like, these. The Zelda games on the NES. If they were to release that on an NES Remix, that would concern me. If the values of those would go from like $30 down to $5, or like if they were to release Little Samson or Flintstones, Dinosaur Peak, like that would concern me if they would drop the value. I mean, when they released Pikmin 2 on the Wii, Pikmin 2 went from an $80 game down to a $40 game on the GameCube. Now, for whatever reason, the Pikmin 2 on the Wii is worth upwards of $30. But I'm getting a little off track. Overall, pretty cool. You know, there's that one concern. But, hey, they haven't touched the barriers of, like, the Zeldas, the Marios, the Flintstones, Surprise the Dinosaur Peak, like, the Contra stuff. Like, they haven't touched those. They're expensive games in. So, you know, that's not too bad. I mean, now that I think about it, I don't even think they would drop the values on them. This Twilight Princess on the Wii's worth 20, and Twilight Princess on the GameCube's worth 60. But, you know, we'll see what happens with that market. And, finally, the most exciting news for the majority of the gaming community, including myself, this is another hot topic for me, is Game Boy Advance games going on the Virtual Console. They announced DS games on the Virtual Console, which is unnecessary right now, in my opinion, but it's still good. And, you know, I love me some Game Boy Advance. Had a Game Boy Advance since I was little. Here it is, the original one I had. Game Boy Advance SP right here. And it is definitely nice that, you know, we'll be getting some great games like this on the Virtual Console for a cheaper price for those that can't afford them or don't have the system, or, you know, whatever their excuses for not getting it. Now, am I concerned that it'll drop the value? Probably not. Maybe just a little. But, you know, I mean, we're getting them on, instead of having to play them on a console like this with a small screen, or a console like this with a small screen, we are going to be able to be playing them on, like, a Wii U gamepad or a 3DS XL with, or a 3DS XL with massive screens. So, you know, it'll feel like a console game instead of a handheld game. It'll feel like a console game, which is pretty sweet. I mean, some of the handheld games are so good that they could be console games. Like, the Pokemon games. Like, the games, a lot of the games that come out for 3DS are good enough to be on consoles. Same with Vita games. They're good enough to be on consoles, but they're only on handhelds. For whatever reason. But, you know, if we're getting them on the Virtual Console, that's great. I mean, and they also do have a lot of ports for the Game Boy Advance. Which, you know, I don't really mind, like, ports like DK Country 2. Like, you know, we already have those on Virtual Console. Overall, awesome that they're putting Game Boy Advance games on there. They already have Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and now Game Boy Advance games. They're pretty much going to have the entire Game Boy library at the disposal. Instead of, if you're like a casual gamer, or like a younger gamer, or a gamer on a tight budget, and you don't want to buy, you know, the physical cartridges, you can just download them all on the Virtual Console. I mean, I'm obviously going to stick with my cartridges here. But, you know, I'll probably download some stuff on the Virtual Console as well. So that was Nintendo Direct 2014 news. Thank you for watching.